Hello there, students. In this tutorial we are going to create a VLAN. We are going to create two VLAN networks that will have its own group even though physically they are stored in the same room. Alright, here is the scenario I came up with. You can see on the Cisco Packet Tracer playground we have a switch and 4 PCs. They are connected to the switch, each of them, and if we go to the physical site you can see that they are located in the same room. We have a closet, and single switch has a connection from the 4 different PCs, right? So now coming to the question of what is VLAN, let's have a brief discussion about what is Vlan, and for that I will show and share in the CAU app this presentation file. So the concept of the VLAN is simply, as I mentioned in the beginning, separating the computers into their own group so that they would not be able to communicate with the PC in the other group. In this diagram you can see a very simple example. We have a PC1, PC2, and we have a PC3 and PC4. Each are on their own VLAN, right? So PC1, PC2 are in their VLAN 10 so that they can communicate with each other, and they cannot communicate with the PC3 or PC4 because those PCs are in a different VLAN, and the same vice versa. PC3 and PC4 cannot communicate with the PC1 and PC2, right? So the first thing we have to do is we need to come up with the playground that I have prepared. We have to come up with a switch and 4 different PCs. So I haven't set up the IP addresses, but the rest of the things is already done, as you have seen the physical side and the logical side. So one by one, let's give the IP address for each computer, right? So as I have stated it in the label, so we will provide the IP addresses accordingly. I mean this label over here. So the first one is 1 in 100. The second one is going to have the IP address 1 in 101. The third PC is going to have the address of 102, 1 in 102 to be exactly, and the last PC3 is going to have the IP address 103, right? So now the IP addresses are assigned for each computer statically, and we can ping to every single PC from every other PC straightforwardly, right? So here we have the command already entered: ping 192.168.1 and 102, which is this PC. So far there is no any VLAN is set up, so this ping will work successfully. And the same way, if we want to go from the PC3 to, let's say, PC1, which has an IP address of 101, then once again there won't be any problem because there is no any VLAN setup, right? So now we have to set up the VLAN, and for doing that you have to deal with the sort of command prompt of the switch, right? So far in our configuration models we have used the command prompt of the PC. As you can see, I opened command prompt of the PC, and here we typed some commands over here, but at the same time you can also have an access to the command prompt of the switch. All right, so this is the command. Pay attention, I have opened the switch window, and now you have to go to the configuration window, which is called CLI, right? So command line interface, right? Just the abbreviation, right? So sometimes you have just started, then you may be expected the message that things are being loaded, and don't worry about it. So you just need to wait a few seconds, and then you can set the configuration. So for the first time when you open, you may see some lines of message. For instance, these lines of message, we have just set up some IP addresses and made some connections, right? So that's why, or maybe made this on pin, so the messages, some messages come out. So we hit the enter, and then you should be able to see command prompt available for you, right? So we are on a switch command prompt, and from here we will type some comments. So first thing we have to set up is we have to set up the VLAN. All right, so we're gonna call the VLAN, let's say this one is going to be called as VLAN VLAN 10, and this one is going to be called as VLAN 20, right? So first thing is we have to give the number and the name for the VLAN, and the second step would be we have to add or assign those computers to that VLAN, right? So let me go back to that presentation file. So once we open the switch, once you open the switch command prompt, so the comments you have to type are the following, very simple, right? So the comments starting from over here, they are just the 3 consecutive comments that quite identical and self-explanatory, right? But before we go to those comments, we have to first enable the switch, and then we have to go to the configuration mode by typing configure terminal, right? So now we are in the switch configuration mode. So you will see config keyword in the parentheses over here, which means you are in the right place. So we will say VLAN 10 with the name. So for VLAN 10, we wanted to give name home, right? So VLAN 10 with the name home, and we will exit. And then we will say VLAN 20 with the name work, and then we will exit, right? So now 2 VLANs are created. So two VLANs are created. Now we have to assign computers to those VLANs, and for that you can see the following comment that we have to try, right? So as far as we are on this level, switch config level, we don't need to type configure terminal comment here because we are on this level. So we will continue from this line, all right? Interface fast Ethernet 0/1, right? So if you go to the Cisco Packet Tracer, if you hover over the mouse to the connection, you can see that there is a 0.1 connection over here. For this one, we have a 0.2, FA 0.2, and over here we have the 0/3, and here we have the 0/4, right? So these connections, you mean to add them to particular VLANs, right? So we go to the presentation file and we go to the command prompt of the switch. So we start from here. We're going to say interface fast Ethernet 0/1. You see that we enter config if section. So here we're going to say switch port, right? Switch port mode access, switch port mode access, and switch port access VLAN 10, right? And then exit. So now we set up for the first PC, this PC, that we told that this should be in the VLAN 10, and we will do the same for the other 3 computers, right? So we are on this level, so in the config level, so we're going to say interface fast Ethernet 0 2 and interface fast Ethernet 0/2 and switch port mode access and switch port access Vlan 10, right? And then exit. So up to here we have created the 2 VLANs, and then we assigned 2 PCs of the two PCs to the VLAN 10, which is the name home. So in the next tutorial you'll see how the rest of the PCs can be assigned. So in the next tutorial we will be dealing with these 2 PCs.